Manchester United and Liverpool renewing their rivalry on Sunday at Old Trafford. As you look at the Premier League standings right now, Liverpool are in second after 8 games played with 18 points. Manchester United down in 6. And if we take a look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's results against Liverpool, not too great. Just the one win back in January in the FA Cup. That was a 3-2 win. Otherwise, it's been 2 losses and 3 draws. One person who isn't feeling too confident about the weekend's game is Paul Scholes. Speaking on BT Sport after Manchester United's 3-2 win over Atalanta, he said the first half was worrying. It looked anything but a team. I think if they were playing a better team, they'd be out of sight. Can they play Liverpool like that? Never in a million years. Well, we now welcome in Gab Marcotti to talk more about this game. But I will start with you, Stevie. Do you agree with what Paul Scholes is saying?
I think Paul Scholes is absolutely spot on. You know, you're playing against the front three of Mane, Firmino, and particularly Salah, who are absolutely on fire. They got, 13 goals in the last 4 games. If you're going to let Liverpool come through your midfield and then get at the back 4, then the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to give up chances and Liverpool are going to score goals. Because that's just what Liverpool are doing right now. So Paul Scholes is 100% right. They look like a group that runs around, works hard, yes, but has quality, and that's what's getting them by right now. But as Paul Scholes says, you can't do that with a team of the quality of Liverpool, because you give them a 2-goal start, you ain't getting back in the game.
Things changed for Manchester United in that game against Atalanta when Paul Pogba came onto the pitch. Are you surprised that he didn't start this clash?
I'm a little, because when you're in a run of not particularly good results and not particularly playing well, you have to get your best team on the field, and you have to get that rhythm going, and you have to get the confidence up, and you have to get everybody on the same page. And once you do that, then you can start thinking about resting people, in my opinion. And so, yeah, I think it was a huge mistake. And you saw his contribution when he came on, and that just pretty much proved it.
Gab, was he rested, or was it a message from Solskjaer?
I don't know what that message would be, because, you know, especially when he plays Pogba in the 2 in front of the back 4 and things don't work out, then immediately the commentariat comes out and says, well, Ole doesn't trust him, Pogba can't be trusted, Mino Raiola, the contract, blah, blah, blah. Maybe, I don't know if he bought into that message or what, but, you know, you saw the change. And obviously, it also mattered that when Pogba came on, you know, let's not forget, there's an Atalanta team playing without their best attacking midfielder, without their 2 starting wing-backs, and without their best defender, and with their second best defender out too in the second half. So I'm sure that played into it as well. But what I wonder about here with Pogba is, we've heard the line all along, the contract's there, he just needs to sign it, he's out of contract at the end of the season. Well, if he doesn't get to play in big games like this when he feels he's ready, then it does send a message as well that it's less likely that he's part of the club's plans going forward, which means that then next summer, instead of buying 1 central midfielder, you have to buy 2 of them. So, yeah, to me, there's no question. It's hard to fit Pogba in there and fit the pieces, because you've got Cristiano up front, you got to find your balance, and you have to do it in running because it's during the season. But it seems pretty obvious that, you know, he's one of your 3 most talented players, and frankly, he should be playing every game that he's fit.
I actually feel a little bit for Pogba, you know. You know, everybody says, oh, why is he so good for France and he's not for Man United? Well, when he plays for France, they're organised. Everybody has a job. Everybody knows their job. And everybody actually probably knows everybody else's job around them. So you can fit into a system, particularly a guy like Pogba. So when he's playing for Manchester United, they don't look as though they have a system. They don't look as though they know what their jobs are. And so as a player, you're running around and you're thinking, do I step over here? Do I stay where I am? You're constantly betwixt and between. Whereas Pogba for France knows exactly what his job is. That's the biggest problem I think United and Pogba have.
Gab, I hear you laughing.
No, I completely agree. And I think, you know, not only isn't there much of a system and there aren't established patterns of play, Pogba himself, you know, sometimes he plays in central midfield, sometimes he plays out wide. The wingers, you know, Bruno and Cristiano obviously always play the big games, but then the wingers seem to always change. And whoever plays alongside him in central midfield seems to always change as well. So in that situation, you don't have patterns of play, you don't have a system, you're not always playing the same position, and the players around you change, and then you're expected to live up to your price tag and your salary. It's kind of difficult to do that, even if you're Pogba.
Well, even though Manchester United are playing at Old Trafford, Liverpool are favourites when we take a look at the odds for this one. Manchester United 2-1 to win. The draw 3-1. Liverpool 5-4. Gab, what's your prediction for this game?
I'm going to go Liverpool, but I think there is a big caveat. They've been untouchable the way they've been playing recently. But a few things cropped into the Atletico Madrid game. And look, United play nothing like Atletico Madrid, completely different teams, different contexts, and whatever else. But I'd be a little bit concerned about some of the defending that we saw, especially that led to those two Atletico goals. And obviously Varane will still be out for this game at the other end. So that is a bonus for Liverpool. But I'm just slightly concerned at the back. And also, I don't think Naby Keita scored a tremendous goal. Other than that, I think they're somewhat undermanned in the middle of the park. Thiago Alcantara likely still out. That might be the only concern. If Liverpool are going to not get all 3 points, I think that's where it's going to happen.
Are you confident they can take all 3 points, Liverpool, Stevie?
Well, I am, but I agree with Gab. You know, Van Dijk and Matip as a partnership against Atletico Madrid were awful. I think that's the only way you can put it. And so if I'm Manchester United, the areas that I'm looking to hurt are in behind Matip, no question. Van Dijk, I'm still going to say you don't want anything to do with him. He did have a bad game, but we know the guy's quality. I think they've got to absolutely go after Matip, because particularly him, this Liverpool line over the last, 18 months, 2 years, has been a very high line, which I don't particularly like. But it's been solid. They've all been on the same page. They haven't had guys drifting apart and dropping deep. But that's what happened the other night with Matip. He kept dropping and being 5 and 10 yards behind the other 3. So if I'm Manchester United, that's what I'm looking at. That's where I'm going for.
How are they going to approach it overall? Are they going to look at sitting back and then countering? United. I don't think United will have a choice. As we've just been talking about, they're not particularly well organised. And so Liverpool only know how to play one way, and they will go at them. And so it will probably suit United in a way that they can do that, because generally when they've got to do that, which is away from home, we know how successful they've been away from home. So that kind of plays into United's hands a little bit. But defensively, United are pretty weak right now. So Liverpool are going for it, and I think Liverpool will win it.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.